1619. 1619.
Final Fantasy, that's a sex spell. Got his enemy, you not family. I still be out here catching wrecks still. I cannot live if we gotta go apart. Gotta fall back and really just know your part.
Gotta watch it for demons, the kingdom hearts. Final Fantasy, there's no puzzle, cannot lie, make it be trying, living mine, I don't know, leaving my life, like I'm dying, I don't know, can I die, I don't know, out of space, feeling like I'm dying young, where am I, UFO?
Final Fantasy!
Losing my trilogy, feel I cannot losing my melody. I don't know, feel I'm losing my penalty. I don't know, feel like popping pills, feel I'm losing my trilogy. I don't know, can I die? Yeah. Feel like losing my, I don't know, where am I? Lost in time, I don't know, can I die? I don't know. Final Fantasy, feel I lose a potential. Can I die? Feel I lose a controller. I don't know, feel like control, feel I losing my mental, feel like I'm mental, feel like I'm losing my business, I don't know, feel like I don't know, feel like I'm really, let's go, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, got the strategy, Final Fantasy, she ain't stand up, Final Fantasy, she ain't stand up, Final Fantasy, she ain't last me, Final Fantasy, this a new life, Final Fantasy, this a trilogy, Final Fantasy, this a moon rock, body smoking on my latest enemy, Final Fantasy, got the strategy, Final Fantasy, she ain't stand up, Final Fantasy, she ain't stand up, Final Fantasy, she ain't last me, Final Fantasy, this a new life, Final Fantasy, this a trilogy, Final Fantasy, this a moon rock, body smoking on my latest enemy.
Let's go!
Final Fantasy, never mercy. Foreign girl, yeah, she said mercy. I'm a specimen, Final Fantasy. She said, Uzi, can you fucking lie to me? Pussy pick up, pull up in some embassies. What I do, tell me why they mad at me. I can never hear what they be talking about, cause I'm probably on my Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, got the strategy, Final Fantasy. She ain't stand up, Final Fantasy. She ain't stand up, Final Fantasy. She ain't last with me, Final Fantasy. This a new life, Final Fantasy. This a trilogy, Final Fantasy. This not moon rock, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, got the strategy, Final Fantasy. She ain't stand up, Final Fantasy. She ain't stand up, Final Fantasy. She ain't last with me, Final Fantasy. This a new life, Final Fantasy. This a trilogy, Final Fantasy. This not moon rock, Final Fantasy. blasphemy. Final Fantasy, this a new life. Final Fantasy, this a trilogy. Final Fantasy, this not moon rock. Body smoking on my latest enemy.
16, 19.